Bhupen Doshi, a 26/11 Mumbai terror attack survivor who joins me on this special broadcast. Bhupen Doshi, are you hopeful that more layers of that terror attack will now open, or do you think every aspect came out in the past 17 years? Is this just an academic exercise in your appreciation, or will something emerge with Rana's interrogation?
Oh, this is certainly not an academic exercise. I think this is a logical conclusion which also all of civil society will expect. This is the only way to do it, I'm guessing. You know, the only other way is that you launch terror attacks on their soil or you bomb the countries, as our friend in Washington is doing. So that's also an option, you know, like he's bombed the Houthi rebels. All right, you know, you started it, kind of a thing.
Yep. So, and India's done Balakot. India's bombed Pakistan without war being declared in 2019. You're absolutely right, Mr. Doshi. Go on, sir.
So I think we have to see what works for us. This has worked for us. We need to see, we're not in the United States. So you can't go around shooting people and bombing people. You need to prove to the world, especially the US, that you're following the due process of law, you're fair, and we have enough adequate proof, you know, which Pakistan is denying all the time. So let them do their number. We must stick to what we think is right. And I think though it's taken a little time and it's fairly frustrating, you know, for people who are stakeholders in this, I think it still has worked well for us. We're getting the guy back. We'll follow the course of law as we did in Kasab's case, and we will bring him to justice.
So, what aspects of 26/11 would you want clarified now? Because I'm sure, you know, I covered 26/11 in Mumbai. I was at Taj and at Nariman Point, and also at that Jewish house, that Shabbat house, covering it through the next 3 days. Where were you? What are questions that you still think need to be answered, sir?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Can you just repeat the question?
What are points that remain unanswered in your mind? What are answers that you are seeking even today?
So, you know, the first question which always came up for everybody was, how the hell did these weapons get in? And how the hell did these guys get in? You know, so I think that's a major lapse of security. Taj, Oberoi, you know, a Jewish establishment, VT. So not that I expect the government to be protecting every inch of real estate in the country and every citizen, but how did they get in the first place? So either we need to beef up our security, or you need to create such an environment that, you know, terrorists will think 10 times before coming.
Yes.
So that's twofold, actually. That's twofold. One is that you whack them where it hurts. Okay, so they never think of coming in again. That's what Trump is doing right now, right? Second thing is that you build your intelligence network so strong, somewhat in the lines of what Mossad does, that, you know, we preempt all of this. So my safety will only be ensured when I'm sure that this is not going to happen again to any of my 1.4 billion brothers and sisters. So till that day, which is a long, long day away, till that day, I think the government has to work on multiple forums, including involving citizens, because the citizen network can be very strong and powerful, like the police informer network is.
Yes.
And if every citizen is conscious and aware all the time, you have, you know, a lot of information that you can use for your benefit. So I think it's hardware and software both put together. It's not only government, it's also us who have to, you know, not encourage these kind of things.
And perhaps Indians need to know better about these Pakistani white-collar terrorists, because remember, people like Tahawwur Rana and David Coleman Headley, as you would know better, Mr. Doshi, they were white-collar terrorists. We would never suspect them to be terrorists. One has an American passport, one had a Canadian passport. They set up office in Mumbai. They were wining and dining in Taj. They were wining and dining with the high society of Mumbai, including Bollywood. That's a cause for grave concern, and Bollywood needs to wake up perhaps now and realize people they wine and dine with could just be ISI sleeper cells.
But not just that, since you mentioned white-collar terrorists, imagine the world has now moved towards cybercrime.
Yes.
Are we prepared for that? Are we prepared? Are we ready? Are we building our system so that these things don't happen? You know, that will be worse than this, because that's mass, right? You can destroy lives of 1 million people at one go.
Absolutely.
So I think we need to keep getting ahead of the curve, both the government and the people. Let's not waste time on food delivery apps, frankly, not very impressive. But let's do something that the world needs. Let's go one step ahead of the rest. We have software, we have maths, we have all of that with us. But the problem of terrorism is going to remain physical terrorism, right? So
Yes.
why don't we enter into a dialogue with those who are backing these guys? We have good relations with most of the Arab countries. So why don't we do all of that
No,
and
you're
somehow the other, by
absolutely
hook or
right.
by crook,
Whack them hard.
protect
Whack them hard.
protect
That's
Indian
just
pro-
required in more ways than
protect
one. Stay
Indian
with me for a
sovereignty.
moment.